Are you thinking of going to the border?
Since that time, he still has not visited the border. Reporter Peter Doocy was not going easy on White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki yesterday regarding this.
Has President Biden ever been to the southern border?
In his life?
Yes.
I will have to look back in my history books and check the times he's been to the southern
We
border.
have been looking all morning and we cannot find any record of him visiting the border as president, vice president, senator, or even as a concerned citizen. Why would that be?
I can check and see when the last time or when he may have been. But tell me more about what you're asking.
Because this is a president who makes a point when there are disasters in this country like a wildfire or a hurricane to go and see for himself firsthand what the needs are of the local community so that he can have informed POV to make policy. Why doesn't he do that? Why doesn't he go down to Del Rio, Texas and see what's going on?
Well, first of all, Peter, I think the situation at the border is the result of a broken system. And the president certainly relies on his experience. So whether it was the work he did to address root causes as vice president, his efforts when he was in the Senate to support comprehensive immigration reform, steps that at a time were being done and worked toward in a bipartisan way, something that certainly we think should be the case today. He uses all of his experiences to inform how he governs, how he approaches challenges, and certainly he looks again at the last 4 years and the separation of children who were ripped from the arms of their parents as a way he does not want to proceed. So all of his experiences and his time in office, whether vice president or Senate, inform his approach to issues. Go ahead.
Just following up on this very basic but very important question. You're telling us that the DHS chief has the most recent numbers about how many of these Haitians under the bridge have been sent back and how many have been released into the U.S. The DHS chief is telling us that he doesn't know. So who else can we ask?
You can certainly ask the Department of Homeland Security. I am confident, Peter. I am confident you wanted to have the most up-to-date numbers, and we will venture to get you those, I promise you, this afternoon.
Is this an issue of not knowing, or is this an issue of a lot more people are being released into the U.S. than are being sent out?
That is certainly not the issue.
GOP leader Kevin McCarthy had this summary to say about Biden.
The only thing President Biden is delivering are disasters. Our border is not secure. Our place on the world stage is not safe, and our economy is suffering.
The world has watched a political flip-flop of global proportions. Take a look at 2019 Mitch McConnell versus Mitch McConnell in the year 2021.
So you are expecting then to raise the debt ceiling once again?
Of course, we will never have America default. But we raise the debt ceiling because America can't default. I mean, that would be a disaster. Republicans are united in opposition to raising the debt ceiling.
Congressman John Yarmuth says the debt ceiling is stupid.
Since this debt ceiling is a made-up issue, a made-up problem, would you prefer to see President Biden just unilaterally mint the coin, as they say, do it with an executive authority and test it that way at this point? I mean, this entire debt ceiling thing, I think the public rolls their eyes. It's obviously nothing that's taken very seriously anyway. So what's the point of it? Mint the coin, right?
There is no point to it. We're the only country in the world that has a debt ceiling that operates this way. We've raised it nearly 100 times since it was put into effect 100 years ago. And it hasn't had any impact on the debt. The debt was $9 trillion when I entered Congress in 2007, and it's now $28 trillion. So it's tripled in that period of time. So this statutory debt ceiling is stupid. We need to get rid of it. I suggested to the speaker, kind of half tongue-in-cheek, that we just raise it to $1 gazillion, so we never get there. I don't think she's favorably disposed to do that, but we really need to do away with it. Again, the only thing it does is allow either party to play political brinkmanship, and right now we're playing with fire.
House Budget Chair John Yarmuth says his staff have concluded there simply is not enough time to reopen the budget resolution and insert the debt limit suspension, or even enough time to do a standalone bill. House Progressive Caucus Chair Pramila Jayapal says that more than half of her members will vote down the bipartisan infrastructure agreement on September 27th if it's not accompanied by the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill.
How many members are there of the House Democratic Progressive Caucus?
There are 96 members, and over half are absolutely committed to making sure we deliver both bills at the same time.
So 48 Democrats will vote against the House infrastructure bill if it does not come with the budget reconciliation package. Is that right?
More than half of our members will vote for both bills. And this was the deal, Jake, that came out of the Senate when progressive senators passed the bipartisan bill in the Senate. It was on the specific understanding and commitment that both bills would move together. And so now we want to make sure that both bills are moving together, and we're going to hold to that commitment. And so, yes, half our members, more than half our members, will not move the bipartisan bill without the reconciliation bill being passed.
Pramila had a 2-hour meeting with Pelosi, making it clear that liberal lawmakers are not backing down. Nancy Pelosi was asked if Monday's upcoming vote will be delayed. Here was Nancy's response to Jayapal.
Is there any chance that you guys may delay the vote on Monday, the infrastructure bill vote?
We say again and again, we're getting our work done, and I'm very proud of the members, the chairs, the staff, and all the rest. And we're in good course. Well, we're going to get our work done on our reconciliation bill, as we have always said. Because
Paul said she will vote against this with half of her caucus if it's not passed Congress by then.
cross these bridges when we come to this is called the legislative process. This is called the Democratic Party. The Groovy is in the mix of all of it, and that's what's pretty exciting because everybody has their say. We come together and we get it done.
Senator Elizabeth Warren spoke frankly about the situation.
They say that they're not going to do it because of everything that's happening on the Democratic side of the agenda. But regardless, if they're going to vote against it, don't you guys have the obligation to raise it on yourself?
So are you asking me, are we hostage to Republicans who are threatening to blow up a part of the economic system because they want to do that for politics? That's just not where we should be as a nation. None of us were to come here just to cause trouble so that the Republicans can get reelected. That's not what this is about. And I think we need to stand strong. Right now, we have offered to do this on a bipartisan basis, as the Democrats did during the Trump years, and we are only asking to get the debt limit raised enough to cover the Trump debt. That's what we should be doing.
Using her own logic, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi put a close ally's prime minister at risk by violating her own mask mandate.
So a lot to discuss. It's a perfect time for us to receive you here. And we look forward to that discussion, Mr. Prime Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. It is a great privilege to be meeting with you today.
11 liberal senators released a statement yesterday calling for Pelosi to delay the infrastructure vote if there's no reconciliation deal. In the letter, it said the House should wait to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill until the budget reconciliation bill is sent to the president's desk. If you were hoping for a fourth stimulus check, the truth is there's not another round of checks being included in the next stimulus package. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called out Mitch McConnell over the debt ceiling, saying all of this debt is Trump debt.
Speaker Pelosi and I have laid out a path to responsibly pass a continuing resolution to keep the government open and suspend the debt until December of 2022. That is commensurate with the time needed to cover the bipartisan $908 billion emergency relief bill that was supported by 40 Republicans and McConnell. It was passed when Trump was president, when McConnell was leader, with Democratic support. So this debt that we are asking to be spent is all Trump debt, which we supported the spending. But it is Trump debt, not Democratic debt. But Republicans seem intent on driving our country down a dangerous road that leads off a fiscal cliff. Remember, Republicans and Donald Trump added $8 trillion to the national debt in 4 years. And the question that you press always ask is, will McConnell blink? The question is, why is McConnell willing to risk so much in this country to play a political game? I hope you'll ask him that question, because that's the seriousness of this.
Mitch McConnell actually put his words into a 13-second summary.
With regard to the reckless tax and spending bill, I think we have pretty well analyzed how to describe this in a few words. It hurts American families and helps China.
Former Republican Treasury secretaries have been meeting with Mitch McConnell to convince him that destroying the U.S. economy is a really bad move.
Skip my floor speech this afternoon.
That was Senator Joni Ernst, and true to her word, she brought all of her cards and memes with her to the Senate floor.
Higher taxes, increased prices, and even more debt. The scenario reminds me of this popular meme of a guy playing Uno. in which the whole aim of the game is to rid your hand of all of your cards. I love this game. I played it as a little girl at my grandma's house. Played Uno with all of my cousins. Okay, so in the meme, he is seen holding a wild card that presents him with a perform an action in this version to cut unnecessary spending or draw another 25 cards from the deck and most certainly lose the game.
It's certainly been a minute, so let's check in with Senator Ted Cruz and get his take on things.
I hope and believe that Republicans will stand firm. And the important thing to understand is the Democrats are playing a political game here. So they have 100% power to raise the debt ceiling on their own. They can do it on reconciliation. Reconciliation only takes 50 votes in the Senate. The Democrats have 50 votes in the Senate. It only takes a majority in the House. The Democrats have a majority in the House. But what you're seeing Chuck Schumer do is he doesn't want to raise the debt ceiling using Democrats because he wants to rack up trillions in new spending, trillions in new taxes, and he wants to shift political blame. So he's trying to advance the debt ceiling using a procedural vehicle that requires 60 votes. He wants to get 10 Republicans to vote for the Democrats' massively irresponsible spending. I don't think it's going to work. I helped lead 46 Republicans in signing a letter, and 46 of us signed a letter saying we don't want any part of the trillions in debt that you are bankrupting our kids and grandkids with. And so what I think is going to happen is you're going to see Schumer and Pelosi play chicken. They're going to threaten a default. They're going to threaten a shutdown. And at the end of the day, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden can raise the debt ceiling anytime they want. They don't need a Republican vote, and they're just playing political games otherwise.
If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to give it a like by pressing the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more updates like this, then subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button as well. That, my friends, is the latest and greatest stimulus check and stimulus package updates for today. As always, I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you soon. Have yourself a great day and take care.